listening to the legendary podcaster, the only TJMD. Your personal favorite, and the show you've been waiting for. Probably offensive.
Welcome to Probably Offensive. I am your host, Anthony Scott Dover, and we are back doing another show. Excuse me. My broadcasting partner's back in the house. Say hello to the people.
Hey, people, it's been a while. Something on Probably Offensive. You probably caught me on my podcast, As the Crow Flies. But today, back with my partner, the host with the most, TJMD.
As the Crow Flies is T. Crow's podcast that he does by himself and sometimes with guests. I have yet to be on As the Crow Flies, although we have scheduled appearances.
You're welcome anytime. You know that.
I'm welcome anytimes, and we have just not made it yet. But As the Crow Flies, look it up. Excuse me. You can get it on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Facebook, Twitter, Spreaker, and anywhere that you find
YouTube,
your podcast. YouTube, Yahoo, Apple, and everywhere.
We're everywhere, people.
Everywhere you find your podcast, look for As the Crow Flies.
Thank you.
But right now we're on Probably Offensive. We want to start the show off. I know I usually talk about COVID. In the last couple of years, I've been talking about COVID.
I talk about COVID also. Some of my guests out there, they write in and give me stuff about COVID. And some are tired of hearing about it because, quote unquote, they don't like what I say about the vaccine.
Yeah.
So, but they ought to listen to what I say about the vaccine. I'm not telling anyone not to get it.
Yeah, they don't
I'm
have
just
to.
explaining why I won't get it.
They don't have to agree with you.
Right.
But they can hear what you have to say.
Exactly.
But before we get to COVID, and I used to give COVID updates and how many people have died according to the CDC, I do not do that anymore. I don't do it anymore.
You know why?
Why?
Let me give you a real quick example why that's not wise to do.
Go ahead.
Because when they give you the updates, they say coronavirus.
Mm-hmm.
They don't say COVID. You know, a common cold is a coronavirus, right? The flu is a coronavirus.
Right.
Pneumonia, RSV.
I didn't know that.
Well, you learn. Look up in 1989 when it was added to the American Medical Encyclopedia in 1989.
Right.
Coronavirus was there as a respiratory illness or infection.
Right.
So when they put on the TV 20,000 cases of coronavirus, that's not 20,000 cases of COVID. That's what they lead us to believe. See, they're manipulating the agenda.
The numbers? The agenda? The whole
20,000 could be the numbers, but how many is COVID? How many is flu? How many is common cold?
Well,
how many is pneumonia? How
they
many is
say in the
bronchitis?
last 2 years there's over 1 million people just in America who have died from COVID, and they said in the first year there was, was it, 600,000? 500,000?
It was a little bit more than 500,000, but here's what I'm saying to that. There's documentation. And I got this. My next podcast, people, he's going to be on it with me, but it's going to be a bombshell because I got whistleblowers. And I don't want to let out too much right now.
Okay.
But I got whistleblowers on this vaccine stuff. And I got information. It's going to be, it's massive. I can't put it out there yet, but hey.
It's going to be huge.
It's going to be huge.
A lot of information.
But what I'm going to tell you about this is
on As the Crow Flies.
When people die, and they died of quote unquote COVID, some of them might have died from pneumonia.
Yeah.
They write that down as COVID.
Right.
Some people might die from bronchitis.
But you have to give it to them because if you have pneumonia and COVID, you are living with pneumonia. And it wasn't until you got COVID and you had pneumonia that you died. Like if you were surviving with pneumonia, fighting it.
You know what? That's very interesting. Okay, but how many people... I know pneumonia kills you. Up until 2 years ago, the common flu was killing thousands and thousands of people every year.
Right.
Just now, 2 years ago, people stopped dying of the flu.
No.
Sure they did.
10,000 people die of the flu every year.
No, there's COVID now. Pay attention to the news. It's COVID now.
Well,
They're not saying people died of flu anymore.
they still are.
Exactly. My whole point, man.
But before we get into the COVID conversation, which might be a little bit late because it sounds like we're already knee deep
We're
into the COVID conversation, I am going to mention, I just want to mention
I got something for him too.
a couple of celebrities who have passed away.
Okay.
Because last time I done the podcast, Desmond Tutu, and I know you know who Desmond Tutu is or was.
Archbishop.
Yeah, Archbishop Desmond Tutu.
Desmond,
He had passed away, and I did mention it.
Okay.
And now Betty White.
Beloved Betty White.
Betty White
You know what she did?
is an entertainer.
She had her own show in 1954, right?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
And the networks took her off the air.
Why?
She had a black tap dancer on there that they wanted to take off.
Uh-huh.
And she said, no. And they took her off the air. I didn't know Betty White was some
Activist.
Some sort of an activist. I didn't know she did
Yeah.
that. I study things when, I read a lot of stuff. And
Betty White stood
Yes.
up for black people,
yes,
black entertainers.
she did. I didn't know that.
You guys are going to have to excuse me. I'm trying to force myself to cough because I got to clear my throat. I feel like I
Hey, you got
gotta clear
COVID.
my throat. I do.
Let me get back 6 feet.
You want to? You
There's
want
nothing
to?
to joke about, people.
You might want to social distance.
It's social distance. Well, you're
T
not.
Crow,
You're about 6 feet away.
because I feel like I got to clear my throat. So every now and then I'm gonna cough.
Oh man.
Betty White was a social activist, and I didn't know that.
Yeah. This is in 1954, man.
She stood up for black people and her right to have a black entertainer on her show.
Yeah.
That's
He's
crazy.
a dancer. That tap dancer was pretty good too. And they said, well, he can get on there. It was supposed to be like a minute set or a 30-second set. She gave me like 9 or 10 minutes, man. And
Yeah,
they dropped her mother ass.
they canceled her
They
show
canceled the show right then and there. And you know,
for that.
But
For-
see,
just because she had a
but
black
if she'd
tap
have been, if she'd have
dancer.
been Dick Clark
Yeah, they would.
or Dick Van Dyke, they would have just signed her
Yeah,
back then. But her being a white woman,
a white woman.
and she stepped on white men's toes back
Yeah,
then.
they said you got a lot of nerve, bitch.
That's what they said. You got a lot of nerve. Well,
Yeah.
they canceled her show. Canceled her with the quickness, man. And they didn't realize that she was going to be one of the biggest stars in the world, man. And,
Right. Yeah.
It's kind of crazy.
Right. So my condolences to
Yeah.
the friends and family of Betty White. 99 years old she was.
A couple months away from being 100.
She was almost 100 years old, which is unusual for anybody.
But the one that that the world's really jumped to is John Madden.
John Madden passed away at 85.
Do you remember the Madden game we used to play?
The football game, the
Yeah.
very popular football game, video football game.
Yeah.
John Madden, yes, all Madden
Did you play it?
team. I have played it.
Were you any good?
I was not good.
You're looking at the first great champion of Madden history. And people out there who know me, they know I was going from coast to coast, beating ass in Madden.
T Crow, you was good at Madden football.
I was one of the greatest of all time. Like I said, I was the very first great champion. I was the Ric Flair of Madden back in my day.
See, this is news to me. This is something
you know
that I
what?
didn't know.
And I retired to allow my son to flourish, right?
Oh.
Because I didn't think it would be good for me beating up on him, which I didn't, and everybody knows how that turned out.
Crow,
But,
you should have kept playing.
well, you know what?
You could have made money off of
I
Madden.
didn't know. We was making money then, we bet each other. And I didn't know they was going to jump into
No, I
what it
mean
is.
nationally, making
Right.
money.
Right.
I had no idea you were
I was
that
a mad
good
man.
at Madden.
Me and CJ McDavid used to go at it. Me and my brothers and all the crew, we used to go at it. And I take they cheese.
And you were great at Madden.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe you should get back into it.
Well, you know what? I'm a little
You were rusty.
old now.
Little-
My mind,
You just can't
the older I
concentrate.
get, the more ADD I get.
You can't concentrate anymore.
I can concentrate, but man, who wants to concentrate hours on playing a game? I used to do that all the time because I was Well, you know how we did, still smoking.
Yeah.
Still smoking weed. And that's when I was young, and so I had nothing to do after I got off work, and my friends, they didn't have anything. We're young, and so we'd sit there and play video games. And Madden, you know, it was a great game, and each year it would come out better and better than the year before.
Right.
And it got to the point where this game was so complicated. You can manipulate the DBs with the eyes of the quarterback. I don't want to go too deep into it. We got a lot to talk about. But you're looking at one of the first great Madden champions. You can Google that.
T. Crow was one of the first great Madden champions, which I had no idea.
You can Google that
you were so good at playing Madden.
And, you know, in my life, I try to do a lot of things.
Yeah.
Now, if I don't do them well, I stop.
Yeah.
But if I do them well, I keep going.
Yo.
I mean,
so Madden was one of those things
I took to it like a fish to water.
That's something. That's something admirable. The only thing is, you should have kept going with it.
Well, I did. I went out to Boston. We played. Yeah. You know, I go out there and beat up everybody in tournaments out there. I'm like, damn, I'm going coast to coast, just whooping. I had a couple plays, but all you need is 5 plays. That's what you do in real life football. You call audibles. I'm talking too much, man. We got other things to talk about.
No, you're not. You're not. This is the show that you're supposed to talk on.
I know, but I'm talking too much about Madden.
No,
we got something to get to because I got to call you out on something that you said. I got to call this man out on something.
We'll get to you calling me out. We got plenty of time. We got a whole.
I can't wait to do it.
Another 50 minutes on the show.
Oh, I don't know if you're going to wiggle your way out of this.
I don't have to wiggle. I don't have to squirm.
He's going to wiggle his way out of this.
There's something coming up that T. Crow wants to confront me about.
But I listened to your podcast.
He listened to the podcast,
and I wasn't there. And this man said something, people.
There's something
he
that
said
I said.
Something, and I'm like, well, hell's bells.
I don't know what he's talking about.
Hey, but see, I listen. I pay attention.
But
I want to thank Miss Coral for that.
Yeah.
You remember Miss Coral?
No.
Roosevelt teacher.
I don't remember
You
her.
probably didn't have her class, but she was a mean one.
Okay.
I loved her.
She was a mean bitch.
I loved her because she pushed me. But anyway.
She pushed him?
Oh, she pushed me to be better. And I listen now to be better, and guess what? You said something. And I'm going to have to bring it up to you whenever we get there.
We are going to get to whatever T. Crow is referring to shortly. We digress from Madden and Betty White, 2 celebrities that have passed away, and I just wanted to mention them because it's somebody that everyone knows. Everybody knows who they are. So Betty White was 99 years old. I didn't know that.
John Madden was 85.
John Madden was 85, and I didn't know that either. Actually, I knew he was pretty old, but
yeah.
Betty White seems like she's been around forever.
She has been. Think about it. As long as you've been alive, she's been around. That's forever.
Yeah, forever for me.
Yeah, right. That's what I'm saying.
I'm only 52.
But you said she seemed like she's been around forever.
Yeah.
And that's true. She has been.
Yeah. But, you know, she was a good woman, an activist. And condolences to the friends and family of Betty White. Condolences to the friends and family of John Madden. So, moving on, we are going to talk about what T. Crow is claiming.
Oh yeah,
to call me out on. I don't know what he's talking about.
You will.
Something that has to do with COVID.
The vaccine, to be general. What this man said about the vaccine. What he said about the vaccine.
Something that has to do with the vaccine. Apparently, that I've said that Crow has got some information on. He's got some, he needs to shed some light on something I said on my last podcast. I'm not exactly sure what he's talking about, but we're going to find out right after this. Don't